Yes, I found out I was speaking for Val about an hour ago. So, for those of you that know Val, I'm older and I don't have as good a tan. So, I'm a 62-year-old severe hemophilia A patient. I'm married with two sons, aged 19 and 39, and my grandchildren are between the ages of 6 and 15. My disclosures, I'm trying to do this from memory here. My disclosures are that I do get paid some money to do research on hemophilia, and I also get money to do talks on aging with hemophilia. So my career, I have a bachelor's degree in genetics and an MBA in computer information systems, and I've been doing hemophilia databases since 1984. And my wife gave me a really hard time this morning about doing and too much during my talk, so I'm going to try and cut that down. So you would think that living in the state of California, I wouldn't have the same kinds of problems as my colleagues in these other countries. I don't have the exact same problems, but there are problems. I actually took a job with the state of California 35 years ago in order to get health insurance. It was a great surprise to me and everyone else that I lived long enough to actually see a pension. I just retired last month, and so I get to spend more time working on the bleeding disorders community than I did in the past. So my message to everybody is that we're still making this up as we go along. I have different problems than you guys have, but there are still problems. For example, Val is under the age of 60. He's almost 60, but he's between the ages of 50 and 60. I'm 62. I recently had my prescription for factor rejected because I was too old. I do a low dose prophylaxis, and I've been doing this for 20 years. I followed Dr. Fisher's protocol from the Netherlands, and it's worked very well for me. But the studies that were done on the medications I use only went up to the age of 60. And when the insurance company looked at the form, it says, oh, the clotting factor you're using is not approved for people over the age of 60 in the use of prophylaxis. So I had him just rewrite the prescription for on demand, and I kept doing what I was doing anyway. I think the other thing hemophilia has changed a lot in not only the products we're using, but another aspect of becoming an old man is that my half-life is getting longer all by itself. I don't think anybody's really studied that. My life has become more stable. I led a session which we lovingly referred to as the geezers at the National Hemophilia meeting just prior to this. And in a room of about 20 men over the age of 50, almost all of them said that their quality of life was better now than it was when they were 30. Now keep in mind that when they were 30, we were right in the middle of the AIDS crisis, and there was a lot of other things going on. But in general, it was a very surprising result to hear these older men talk about their lives being better now than it was before. My wife has signed us up. I take yoga for seniors on Thursday morning. I think my primary challenge right now is managing my clinicians, because I have to get my hematologist to talk to my hepatologist, to talk to my dentist, to talk to my primary care physician, and it's only a matter of time before a cardiologist shows up in the mix. These are groups of people that are not used to talking to each other because there haven't been any of us. As we get older, these teams, these comprehensive care teams, are going to have to spread out and start working with each other because they're going to have to hold hands as they take care of the problems that I come up with as I age and get older. I was talking to a very old friend of mine in the back there about what do we do when we start getting to be 80 and 90, which is actually a valid question. What happens to our veins? I know that my colleagues in Sweden and the Netherlands, they're starting to put ports in these older gentlemen because, as it is now, my arm's not long enough to see this thing. I have to kind of start wearing my readers in order to see the vein, right? And what's going to happen once I start getting, a little bit shaky? So, or I forget who I am. Right? So we're going to have to start using these techniques that they use in older people in the hemophilia community. And once again, we are blazing new trails. We are making this up as we go along. All right, so I'm almost finished. So I'm going to tell. So my vision is me and my colleagues that are over the age of 60. We're like the guys that hit the beach at Normandy when 85% of us or 95% of us were gone within the first 10 minutes. But that small group that made it through made it up on top of the hill and made it over the hill. And it's our job to clear a path for that large group of younger men to follow behind us and have a better, clearer path. Thank you very much.